Hello everybody. So let's finish our trivia app. I just want to implement the score. And I would like to, what else? Implement the score, and I will say, and that's it. I think deploy it probably. So let's continue working on this. Let me just let's go create a new composable. Okay, let's create a new composable. And let's call this use score. And this is the one that will have all the logic. So let's do const use score equal something, a function that will do something there. And we just will call export default use score. Right? Here we can have import ref from view. And let's do outside the use score in order to maintain some kind of logic there across different places. I want to do simple const score equal reference 0. And we're going to export the score. Actually return score. And let's create another const. Let's say it change score with some value. Will be really simple. And we're going to be just score.value plus equal value plus 0. So whatever we send there, that is the one that we're going to make change. And we're going to use the change score. Okay? It's as simple as that. So in our main layout, we're going to import use score from at composables use score. Let's do const score equal use score. And actually, and then here I'm still doing the same thing. Actually, this shouldn't be here. We have the main score component. Let's do script setup, and we just put those there. Use score and the score from score, and here we just actually just extract the score element of use score, so we can actually use it once. Score. Boom. Okay, now we have a real score there. What we need to do is put the logic for the correct questions. And that should be on the question page. We'll do something really similar. Let's do this too on the question page. Where are my questions? There you go. So I will import the score and I will use my change score. For that, let's add a points element And this should be actually this I like this question. Let's do value the difficulty. And I think that's the name that we had it. Let me just remove this for a minute. And let's actually print my question. So we have the difficulty. Yes, it's how it's called. Perfect. So we can actually do the point will be question the value the difficulty is equal easy, then will be 1. If not, we do another evaluation. And we can actually see it right there. Will be something really similar. It's going to equal to I don't remember which one is the medium. Perfect. Easy, medium. So if medium will be 2, if not, that means it's hard, should be 3. Right? And we're doing all in one. So if difficulty is easy, apply 1. If it's medium, apply 2. The rest apply else. This is a double try. I don't remember how to name, but it's like an if statement, shorthand for the if statement. Cool. That's for the. Actually, that should be only for the correct one. And this one, the first one. And let's increase this to be probably 10, 20, and 30, because the point for a wrong one will be -5. That way, now that we have the points enabled, and we import in the change score from use score, we can actually do on my answer, we can do at click, we can do something. Will be change score to the answer dot points. So it's complaining about the size, so forget about that. And that should be pretty much it. And probably I can do in my answer. Let's do something extra here. When my answer is hover over, that means we need to apply cursor pointer. That means we should be able to see that we can select it. So we know this is the correct one. We are not making the changes of the order. Let me just refresh it. They like it. Let's see it. We have an issue with the console? Yes. Point. What did I call it? Point. Point. Yes. Oh, answer. I have a typo. So let's do the correct one. 10. Perfect. Let's do an incorrect one. -5. Let's do the correct one again. Boom. Here's a 10. That means because of difficulty. So probably we should showcase the difficulty somewhere. We can actually put the difficulty. Let's do something really, really simple as a score. Let me select all of this. Let's create another element. Let's call it difficulty notice, or what can we call this? Difficulty chip. Let's call chip, and I will show you why. That view. Enter. Let's paste everything that we have. So we're not using the score. We use something different. But for now, let's remove this for a minute. Actually, I'm going to print. Let's print the score for now. But instead of the bottom, let's do instead of right, let's do left. And instead of putting my main layout, because it should not be always there, I will put that only on the questions. And I will put this right here inside my if of the question, if the question is there. Let's do difficulty chip. There you go. I'm printing the score for now. And this should be at. Okay. So when it's loading, it's not there. Until it's load, it show it. Perfect. The correct one is there. So what I want to do, I want actually be a little more smart. So probably we don't need anything from this. I can do something like this, and here will be just the slot. And let's call this difficulty. Oops, I'm changing the wrong one. That's what happened when I keep the same name, didn't change where it's supposed to be. Okay, let's open the difficulty one. Sorry for that. Difficulty chip. Okay, now that I have difficulty chip, I don't need this for now. Let's keep the text as just the slot. And let's change this to difficulty. Difficulty. Perfect. And in my question, what I will be doing, I will be sending something. Be sending my question dot difficulty. Easy. Cool. Medium. Hard. There you go. You was able to print it there. And I wanted to do it through a chip because um, Let's do simple tag with chip. Something like that. Show code. Something like this. Let me see if I can apply it. Actually, here. We have a padding X, padding Y rounded full, and we have a border. So let me just get the paddings and the rounded. Let's go to main score. No, difficulty. So let's do the padding and the rounded full. Perfect. Let's do the background. Let's do something simple like this. Yes, let's remove this one to be actually text large. And instead of uppercase, probably lowercase. Easy. Now, let's remove text, capitalize. There you go. We can use capitalize there. That's it. Let's do something different with the color. Instead of green, let's do yellow. Now I would like to send it actually. So that's through the slot. But what about, let's actually try to do it to the define props. Let's do const props equal define props. Something like this, and we do color. And let's do difficulty. Will be type string and require it true. So instead of doing the slot, let's actually do prop dot difficulty. This is actually props. And let's send it, instead of send it through the question, let's see, where is it? Right here. Let's close it again. And let's do run difficulty dynamically will be my question dot difficulty. There you go. We're sending that. Now that we're sending this one there, we can actually do some kind of validation. So let's do the difficulty. Where is it? See. So failing inspect and provided details. Okay, let's go. Sorry for that. Let me see questions page. Oh, we already sent it, and let's do difficulty cheap. And let's do a dynamic class. Let's remove the background from here. And the class will be if props dot difficulty. something really similar that we did for the scores. Where is it, the score logic? Main score. No, which one do we got? Oh, the points. So it's actually the question. Something really similar that we did with the questions. I can actually copy this. And let's get back to my difficulty sheet. I will do if prof difficulty equal easy, my background will be background green 500. If not, that means that my props difficulty equal to medium, we're going to be doing the background yellow 500 and else background red 500. Cool. We don't need this anymore. Medium is that one. So let's try to refresh this. Medium, medium. Easy is green. Perfect. This is to get a difficult one. Hard. It didn't work. The red background. Oh, it's 500, not 50. There you go. And I think for all of them, the text should be white. Yes. Now we have the leadership there. And probably can do it smaller. Let's remove the sizing. Let's get the default one. Text small. And we can keep that one. Whenever we just get a new question, we can see that one there. So let's do the yellow a little more. I think the green, we have issues with the text white. So probably we can do a 600 here. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And on the yellow, probably we do the same. Cool. So we have pretty much almost done. The only thing that we need to do is how to get back. So we hit it here. We just need to be able to get back in order not to be answer the same question over and over. So we need to go to the question section. And we are actually executing or change the score with the answer. Yes. Let's call this handle answer. And let's create a new one, a new function. Let's put cons handle cons handle answer. And we have the points here. We're going to use the change score. With the points. Well, okay, and the answer is going to be equal, sorry. I'm thinking in the old points. There you go. And then we need to get the router. Use router. Then we can actually modify this to router to use the router. That way we can actually do router dot push. Oh, corrected. Boom. You select another one. Corrected. Boom. Another one. And we have pretty much almost done. What I would like to do here, what we can do, we still need to sort this in a different order. And what else we need to do? I would like to have like the notification whenever this is good or bad. What will happen there? So let's do. There's a new. There's some tool really cool. Lodash. And I have right here. Give us some kind of functionality that we can actually probably create or utilize. And still thinking how to do, probably because the hour I don't have head right now. Let's look at the docs or method package. We actually could talk a little bit about this one. Dash yes. Yes, this is the one that we're going to use. But let's do core view, let's do documentation. Here you go. So this one have something really cool, shuffle. What it does is just shuffle the values of that specific array using the Fisher-Yates shuffle algorithm. It's pretty cool. And let me see, we have timeout. We have the times, but we can actually put wait. We have wait here. No, well, we can actually use the shuffle part. And it will be really cool to use. So in order to handle it, let's open the console. We can do just npm install lodash -es. It's lodash, so we wrote lodash, yes. Install that. Did you find it? Lodash, yes. That's the one that I'm doing. Yes, it's this one. npm install lodash -es. There you go. Oh, I put an IE there. It's low without that one. Okay. Let's do npm run dev again. Minimize this. Let's close it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need this. Okay. So what I want to do with the Lodash is Lodash shuffle. What is the example level I was trying to see? There is not much. Doesn't matter. So in the question page, we can actually import truthful from Lodash, yes. And then after we have that, we have answers. We do the mountain, we add the values there. Before we actually return it, we do questions dot value dot actually what is used Lodash shuffle. Shuffle right here, you just shuffle and put the collection in. Okay, so we just need to shuffle my questions. My answer actually. My answers are the one that need to be shuffled. So let's see if I can actually get something from here. The nearest whole number. How many radians? I don't have idea what I'm looking at. What the prime number comes next after 19? So 21 is not prime number. 23, I think so it is. Yes, that one. General knowledge. The run by Pablo Escobar in which South America, Bogota, Colombia. South America City, so Medellin. So it's not doing the shuffle. Yeah, so the shuffle is actually not working. Let's do console.log. Probably need to do this equal to something. To be sincere, I never used Lodash before, but I just knew that it existed. Let's try to figure out how it works. Yeah, it actually shuffled. We see that the first one is a false. So that means that we need to do something like this. Answer value equal shuffle answer value. Yeah, there you go. It was wrong. There you go. With that little trick, we are able now to shuffle the answer. So we never know where it's actually. Let's see some video games here. Loading. So in which Call of Duty game are introduced in zombies mode? I don't have idea. I don't play Call of Duty. It's a Black Ops 3. Hey, it was. Cool. Let's do video games again. When the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 release? Ooh, interesting. Probably 2004? No. Okay, well, we have the answer. Let's do, actually, before we commit, I want to do one extra thing here. I want to put the good or bad answers option. So let's go to the question. Let me create another value. Let's say it. What we can actually say on Well, we can actually send here. Let's do another component. Let's make this component like notification of the answer dot view. Let's do template. Let's do a simple div class who let's class notification. Notification. Let me minimize this. Close it and let's do correct. Right. Let's do over here. Let's go back to my question page. I will import that here. Import notification answer. How we call it? Notification answers, yes. Rename. Actually, let's just use it. Here. Notification answers. And that should be imported from where it did it. Let me put this one over here. I like to keep it a little bit consistent. And it should be at we just printed notification answers. It's right there, correct. Okay, perfect. So let me get back to here. Let's change this style. Language. CSS. Scope. Let's do that. Notification will be apply absolute. Perfect. Right there. Cool. Let's do inset 0. I mean that left, right, top, and everything should be 0. Let's do flex item. Yes, I like that. Flex items center and justify center. Right there. Let's do a simple background for now. Background green 500. That's my notification. Cool. So let's have that. And then text white. On bold. Text 7XL. Really big. Do we have something bigger than 7XL? Yeah. 9 or 8XL. Here we go. Let's do uppercase. Correct. And let's do wide tracking widest. Yeah, I like it. And actually, I like the score stays there. Yeah, I like it. Now let's do the script setup. And I would like to do the props again. Const props equal define props. And let's make it type. Actually, let's call it correct. And let me show you a different type of prop here. Let's do type Boolean. Required true. And let's do this one if prop does correct, we just print correct. If not, let's print incorrect. Let's print ground. Okay. And we can actually do remove the background green 500. And let's do a dynamic background class. And let's do the same. If props not correct, we do background green. If not, they should be here. We do background red. Wrong. Yeah, I like it. We have a very big notification there. So we'll go back to the question. Let's do const show notification equal reference false. And let's put after the answer. And my notification that we have right here will be if show notification. Perfect. So whenever we answer the question and we're sending the points, we know when the points are positive, means correct. When the points are negative, it means wrong or incorrect. So we can actually do something like this. Show notification dot value equal true. And then we can actually wait. Let me do a simple 3 seconds. That's pretty much what I need to do. I need to wait 3 seconds with the set timeout, and we are going to do the rest of the elements through there. So let me just get these two. Let's do set timeout. And we're going to be do something like this. Going to do show notifications false. Probably. Let's do change point. Let's change the point. Let's do the show notifications as a cleanup. Probably. Let's keep it like that because we have the entry point whenever we go back in. So your notification router patch, and this should happen at 3 seconds. So let me answer. Oops. That timeout didn't work. Let me check that. Oh, I see what is happening here. It should be after this. So he's wrong. And then this should change later. And then this should load. Wrong again. So we have that, and then we have the value we modify. Probably this is too long. Let's do 1000. Let's see if I can actually get which one good. The time in film. What is the first monster to appear alongside Godzilla? Was King Kong? Probably. No. The year the movie Police Academy released. Ooh, that's a classic one. 86? No. First name of the film, like something like it hot. Or character first name. Sugar or honey? Being who has magic powers including growing trees. I never I don't have idea what I'm answering. And what's on the assumption that I was good in this? Who is the creator of Geometry Dash? Ah, come on, I don't have idea. Mythology. We of that Roman god doesn't have a counterpart in the Greek mythology. Janus? No. Music? Saul whose lines the band Guns N' Roses now playing what type of guitar? Ooh. I think it's a Les Paul. No. So, yeah. How many studio albums do the Daft Punk release? 4? I'm sorry, I will be hitting until I get something good. Actually, I will never get something good because I'm I'm not sending it. Oh my god, I'm clicking something over and over. So let me send the notification and correct. Will be only if points is bigger than 0. Let's get back to mythology. In Greek mythology, who got the daughter of King Minos? I don't have who is King Minos. So it's not real, and it's not Athena. Ariadne, Alana? No. Let's do some shit here. Let's go and see my data about my questions. Answers false, false, true. Okay, so the third one should be the good. So let's actually put this one inside my answer element before the answer. Because the points actually came from the answer, doesn't came from the question. Answer point. Okay, music. Stevie Wonder's real name is Stephen Harwood Morris. More likely it is. Let me see this. Yes, true is true. Oh, come on. So something happened with the answer. So we should get the answer. That point bigger than 0. And the dynamic, yes. Music view question. False, false, true. Allow black. Oh, wait, this is actually happening 4 times. So, okay, I know where the issue is. Your notification should value equal true, but before we do that, we need to somehow tag it. So show notification to cons is correct. Equal reference false. Let's actually think a little bit how to handle this section. And of course, the easy part is the one that is taking longer. So what we need to do is correct that value equal if points is bigger than 0. So here I need to send the correct, and now I can actually move it to the bottom. I don't need it anywhere else. And I can just show it only when the correct is correct. Let's go to entertainment films. Let's cheat again. False. This one is false and true, the true one. So for Falcon should be true. There you go, correct. So that's how it's supposed to be. Wow, this took a lot longer than I would really expect. I'm sorry for that. But the idea is it's a little more complex application. We're making several calls and we're handling some data there. I'm not cool regarding probably the categories. We don't need to be calling the categories every time that we come in. Yeah, more likely we need to change that. Added answer logic. Answer logic. So what I want to do is API. So let's do, how can we explain this? You can actually import. Let's change the logic a little bit. Reference from view. And let's do fonts, categories, equal, let's do a null there. Cons categories equal reference null. And instead of getting categories the first time, let's actually get rid of this. And what I'm going to be doing is just execute that. So we'll do categories dot value equal asynchronous to the call. Equal actually just await. We can do something actually not like this. Probably like this. It will be down. And this. Will be loading always there. That's okay. So what I want to do here is I get in the categories, I give a null by default. So I get in my instance of the API, making the call, Xavier's response, but then instead of returning it like in a function, those trivia categories I assign it to there. So I just do it once, and whenever I initialize my use API. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Probably this could go here. Whenever we call, not sure. No, probably not like this. Sorry. I'm just trying to think what to do. Const, fetch, categories. Will be an asynchronous function. And this asynchronous function will do something. Yeah, so we need something like this. And then instead of returning, we just assign it. And we export the fetch categories, but we're going to export the categories too. Right? Let me just get back to my main page. Let me refresh it. So this should stay there for a while because I don't have anything. But let me go to my questions page. And I will import. So what I have here, I have my categories. Not my questions, sorry. Home page. So this one is not needed anymore. So for my API, I will do, we'll get the categories and my fetch. And then this, when it's mounted, if categories dot value, and what is the value that we have by default? Let me verify that. Called is the use API. By default is null. So what I'm telling there is if the category value doesn't exist or is null, then I need to await fetch my categories. And that's it. It's only once. Then for category in categories, because that's one is already there. Probably this one I just need to do be if categories. And that should work. Can access property value categories is undefined. Where on page view line 9, const categories. So let's actually import API here. And then we can use if API dot category dot value await API dot fetch categories. Developer can access property value of API categories. Let's use API categories. And that's the one that I'm returning. Yeah. Categories. Oh, this one is the one that doesn't exist. So here is API.category. This actually should work. We'll do like this. We'll wait that. And this should actually bring data. Okay. Again. So let's just finish this. And let me show you what I did. So what I did is I just created an empty array as a reference from the categories in the use API. And then I keep the get category, the original name. And I do exactly the same call, but the difference instead of returning the value, I'm assigning the value to categories value. And I'm exporting the category returning through the use API. Now, if I go to the home page, I just import the categories and get categories. And I just wait for the get categories to get once. Actually, it's doing more than once, but well, yeah. And just doing here pretty much the same. The difference is I show the information only when the category length is bigger than 0. That's how we actually call it right now, and just to verify that everything is going the way they're supposed to. Now, I think the only things that we need to do now is pretty much call if categories values length categories.value.length equals 0, then this will happen. This will make the call in theory only once. So let's verify this. Let's actually go to the network tab, and we can see they get the categories here, and we should get the rest of the elements. Perfect. API is here. Let's select something, and then we get back, and the categories will not call anymore. Yeah. So we synthesize a little bit the code to get only one. Cool. And I think we have the whole app now working. Let's do a really fast deployment to showcase that. So let me save it, add it, category once call. We sync it. And I need to go to my DigitalOcean. Let me log in. I'm logging right now in DigitalOcean with another. I'm right here. So I will go to my domain. I will create a CNAME. Let's call this one Trivia. Fantastic. Yeah, actually, let's put it Trivia. Let's keep it simple. Go to the host, the main one, and let's just put it Trivia there. Create record. And that create my CNAME Trivia, pointing to Rodo Roman. Perfect. So now that I have that there, let me just go to my panel. And I have that one right here. Meanwhile, my panel is get loaded. Let me open my GitHub. And I have my repo right here. Right, like Fantastic has been updated 1 minute ago. Perfect. So I should be able just to get a new application, actually create a resource application from my GitHub that is already linked. I will select Fantastic. There you go. Main branch. It will be static. page. Let's call it Fantastic. Everything is still the same. It's not a bot. It will be HTTPS trivia.roman, the new subdomain that I created. And I just don't need the SSL for www. So I will put that one there. I will keep this as it is. Expose port I keep as it is. Command to install npm install. Command to build npm run build. And to start command, it doesn't have. Base directory will be right here, and the distribution will be the distribution folder. So just save it. It doesn't have a secret. We don't specify any secret there. And the API is public and doesn't have secret there. So I didn't see the need to put it there. So let's just deploy it. Let's wait. Let's start building it for the moment. It should be relatively fast. It shouldn't take that much. So what it's doing is just creating the Docker container internally that will handle that information to install it and then to pull it out and put it in the production one. So I just finish it and it's failed. Of course it failed because that's my luck right now. Extracting. It looks like just load metadata from Docker. No, it's actually really weird why it fails. Let's play again. And it fails again. Let's just see what happened. I will pause the video and I will to the end. Okay, so we can actually see here, it failed again, but we can actually try to read the content. It's actually giving me a little more context now. And I can see right here, the problem is that rollout failed because the way that I'm importing the logo is not the way that it's supposed to be. And yes, probably it is correct. So let me just verify that. My homepage, I'm importing the logo right here. So probably what I need to see is bit assets. Let me just verify the documentation. So this is how bit static handle. There's a different way to do it, but you can do it through explicit URL import, but we don't need to do that. So we actually just will not transform this. So return a new URL from the directory. Okay. So we can do something like this. Or something like the image URL equals something. And then we just get the element and we change the source to that one. That could go. Or we can actually utilize, and let me look for that. It will be so view does it. So what I want to do, let me cancel this. Let me get back. npm run bit. Oops. npm init bit, sorry. Let's create one really quick project as a scratch just to showcase it. Let's put this as logo, view JavaScript, and let me open my logo folder. And we can see here right away in the source application that the image is calling the bit because it's through there, but the source is calling through assets. And that's the way that it should be for other patterns. So we can actually do both of them in this particular way, because the one that actually failing is the one that we have in the home page. So let's get back to the other code. Let's see how we actually had it. So we have the logos right here without anything. Let's just do /logo. And let's see if it actually works. And before we try to deploy it, we will try to run it from here. So npm run build. And let's see if the local build works for me now. It does. It doesn't have any more issues. So it doesn't have issues here. Let me just remove that little / that was missing and try to build it again. It should fail. It does. And I have the same error that the Coolify had it. But let me just get back, fix it with that /, build it locally. It does work. So that means we can actually just commit, say fix logo import and sync the changes. And that synchronization changes should trigger Coolify, I believe, right here. So because detected that we pushed a new commit, it's just trying to build it for us. So let's wait for this actually to finish. Build an image, and it's a success. It was really bad that it was failing, but pretty cool that we were able to troubleshoot that. So if I go to trivia.brotherroman.com, we have our application up and running. And that's it. I really hope that you like it. It's a really long series and really long videos, but I try to explain a little bit more what it's supposed to be and how the code need to make. I don't want to cut the errors. I want to showcase that too, how to troubleshoot when you have some of those issues. And I really hope that you like it. If you have any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.